Hi, I'm Sherry Jones, and I'm going to talk with you about my latest novel, The Sharp Hook of Love, story of Heloise and Abelard, famous 12th century lovers from Paris. Peter Abelard was the most famous and infamous philosopher in the Western world. He was smarter than everyone else, and he knew it. He was also very handsome and a composer of love songs that made women swoon. Heloise was a young scholar, fluent in 4 languages, including Hebrew and Greek, which was very unusual, especially for a woman, and also the preeminent authority on literatures, which Abelard said, and that was a big deal for him to admit someone was better at anything than him. As a young woman, Heloise lived with her uncle, Fulbert, in the area around what is now the Notre Dame Cathedral. It was called the Notre Dame Cloister at the time. Canon Fulbert was a subdeacon in the Catholic Church. Soon after Abelard moved to Paris to become headmaster of the Notre Dame Cloister School, he moved in with Fulbert and Heloise and became Heloise's teacher. Soon their nights studying together became nights of passion, and they carried on secret trysts right under Fulbert's nose. Somehow he never knew. Eventually, though, of course, he did catch them, and the act of revenge that he would take in retaliation was so shocking and brutal that it would make the couple famous for many centuries. Artworks, poems, songs, movies, books, even a Broadway musical have all retold this couple's fascinating story. If you've seen the film Being John Malkovich, you may remember the scene outdoors with the puppeteer. Well, the story that he was enacting was the tale of Abelard and Heloise. We know about this couple because of 8 letters that they left behind, letters they'd written to each other starting about 15 years after they were forced apart, when Heloise was abbess of a convent and Abelard was abbot at a monastery. But in 1999, an Australian scholar named Constant Muse, how do you like that name? Professor Constant J. Muse discovered 113 letters that he has very convincingly argued in his book, The Lost Love Letters of Heloise and Abelard, that these were letters, fragments of letters and poems written by the couple to each other during their courtship. Now, this was very exciting for me to find. They're really beautiful, exquisite letters. I'll give you a little sampler of them. Letter 18 from Heloise to Abelard. She writes, "An equal to an equal, to a reddening rose under the spotless whiteness of lilies, whatever a lover gives to a lover. Although it is winter, yet my breast blazes with the fervor of love. What more? I would write more things to you, but a few words instruct a wise man. Farewell, my heart and body, and my total love." Letter 20 from Abelard to Heloise starts as a poem. "The star turns around the pole, and the moon colors the night. But that star is fading that should be my guide. Now, if through the retreating shadows my own star should appear, no longer will my mind know the darkness of grief. You to me are Lucifer, who must banish the night. Without you, day is night to me. With you, night is splendid day. Farewell, my star, whose splendor never dies. Farewell, my greatest hope, in whom alone I find favor, and whom I never bring back to mind, since you never slip from mind. Farewell." Now, this book is not your happily ever after romance. although it does have a happy ending in its own way. It's a serious work of historical fiction, thoroughly researched, that aims to immerse the reader in the fabulous 12th century Renaissance. It's also an exploration of love's meaning and the sacrifices that love entails, and a meditation on which is more important, passion or devotion. What's your answer? I hope you'll read The Sharp Hook of Love and contact me via my website, www.authorsherryjones.com, with your own ruminations on love.